Hello and welcome to my manga haul for July, and this is kind of like a birthday manga haul because it is my birthday tomorrow, and this month I have 30 volumes, which is like slightly over what I normally get, but 3 of them are light novels. I once again got them from Sci-Fi. Everything in this box is from Sci-Fi, apart from the thing next to the box, which isn't even in the box. That was from, I found that on Vinted. So anyway, let's get on with this birthday manga haul. First up, the thing I found on Vinted is this Poke-Anatomy book. It's an unofficial guide to the anatomy of Pokemon by Christopher Stoll. I think this was released back in 2017, but then had a re-release a couple years ago. But I think it was a limited release, and once they were gone, they're gone. But I found someone selling this on Vinted. I thought it seemed very interesting. Like the anatomy of Pokemon, this guy tries to come up with scientific explanations as to how these Pokemon could exist, and it's very interesting. I have read some of it. I haven't read all of it, but so what it does, it has the picture of the Pokemon on this side, and then it has like information on this side. It contains the whole first generation of Pokemon plus Togepi for some reason. So here's Pikachu, and this is what it would look like inside of a Pikachu. Yeah, I saw this and I thought it would be interesting. So I picked it up. I did scan eBay to see if the price it was going for on Vinted was a decent price, and it was, because the ones on eBay were over twice as much as what this guy on Vinted was selling it for. So I thought it was a good price to get it for. Yeah, and for what I've read, it is very interesting. It's this guy's interpretation of how he thinks Pokemon are and their anatomies and how they could live. Yeah, it's very interesting. It was a very cool find. I'm glad I came across it. Yeah, that's the Poke-Anatomy book. Here's the back. I think there's like 2 editions to this. There's this black one with the like greeny cover, and there's also a leather-bound one, which is green with like gold on it. I have seen both versions. I think one was like the original release, and maybe the leather-bound one was like the newer version. But I think he has just released one of these for the second generation of Pokemon as well, but other than his official website, which I don't know if it ships worldwide or not. I can't find that one anywhere. But yeah, I would like to pick it up if I ever did come across it, because this is very interesting. And now into the manga box. I already opened the box and removed all the packaging and everything, and then Jet, my little Newfoundland puppy, he ate the packaging, and yeah. So I already removed the bookmarks that I already had. So these were the new ones that I got this time around. I think this was must be a new wave. I haven't actually seen any of these ones before. And you've got a witch, a pop star. This looks like something from an old sci-fi film. This little creature. And then some guy shaking hands with, I think, that King Kong. Yeah, these are the ones I didn't already have. Then I've already removed all the packaging and everything, so yeah, there's 30 volumes in here, so let's get on with it. I'm going to start here. And the first one in this box is Volume 3 of Daily Report About My Witch Senpai, which is a continuation of the series. It originally ended at 2 volumes, but it was popular, so the author decided to keep going with it. I loved the first 2 volumes. They were super cute and wholesome, especially Volume 2. Volume 2 was very good, so I just had to pick this one up when it was released in English. And I'm super looking forward to reading it. It's about co-workers at this office job where his senpai, this woman here, is a witch, and she rides around on a broom. She can teleport, stuff like that, and she's recently gotten out of a relationship that wasn't great. The guy she was seeing was not very good, and he ends up helping her out because she's not very good in the office and stuff like that, and they form a relationship, and it's very cute, and I'm looking forward to reading this continuation. She also has this iguana. Next is a new one that I picked up. This is True Love Fades Away When the Contract Ends. This is based off a light novel. The light novel is also in this box somewhere. I think it's down the bottom. But yeah, I picked up both the light novel and the manga. This one is about a woman whose father has recently arranged for her to get married to someone, but she doesn't want to get married. She works with her uncle at an art gallery and she loves her job and she doesn't want to give up her job, and she knows if she gets married she would have to give it up. So she does not want to get married at all. And she comes across this guy who also doesn't want to get married. He also wants to remain single. So they kind of come up with a scheme together to pretend to be destined lovers. So, like, no one, like, pressures them into marrying anyone else. And then they don't, since they're not actually destined lovers, they're just pretending they don't actually have to marry each other either. Yeah, I thought this one sounded good. So I've decided to pick it up. I don't think it's an isekai. I think it's just fantasy or possibly just historical. But yeah, the artwork's nice. And I'm looking forward to checking this one out. Last one in this small size. I've got like these smaller size ones and the normal size ones and the bigger size ones all separated. So here we have The Ancient Magus by VIZ Media Volume 8. I think the series is ending soon, but I'm not 100% sure. Like, I think things might be coming to some sort of conclusion. But yeah, this is a spin-off of The Ancient Magus Bride. This one takes place in France, and it's kind of like a reverse Ancient Magus Bride, where we has the boy here is a human, and the woman here, this dragon person, is the like inhuman, like creaturey thing. Whereas in The Ancient Magus Bride, it's Josei and Elias. It's like the opposite way around. I do like this spin-off. Out of the two spin-offs, I do prefer the other one with Jack Flash and the Fairy Case Files. But I do enjoy this one as well. The only problem with this one is the volumes come out quite slow. And by the time a new volume comes out, I've forgotten what has happened in the previous ones. And I'm reading through it and I'm like, I don't remember who these organisations are or who any of these people are. And I always have to end up skimming through the previous volumes to remind myself who everyone is. That doesn't tend to happen with a lot of series, but it happens with this one for some reason. Yeah, that's VIZ Media. So I think I heard somewhere that it's ending soon, but I could be wrong. It might mix it up with either the other one or something completely different. Anyway, let's go through the bigger sizes now. Here we have Volume 3 of The Summer Hikaru Dies. This one is very, very yellow. This is like a horror sort of series about two boys, best friends, and one day one of them starts acting different after he got lost in the mountains, and he realises that the Hikaru he knew has actually died and he's been replaced by this eldritch, Lovecraftian sort of monster. And he's like, kind of still wants to be friends with him because he looks like Hikaru even though he's not actually Hikaru. And it's like, it's kind of like, it's very interesting. It's got some creepy vibes to it. Yeah, I did enjoy the first two volumes. And this one has recently been announced that it is getting an anime adaptation, which is super exciting. No, I will be looking forward to checking that out when it drops. I think it's going to be on Crunchyroll as well. Next, I have here 15 Minutes Before We Really Date. This is a very cute one. I very enjoyed Volume 1. It was like short chapters of this couple, where at the beginning of the first volume they decide to date each other because obviously neither of them, I think they're in high school. They're childhood friends, and I think they're in high school, and they've gone their whole lives without ever having a boyfriend or girlfriend, and they're like, why don't we just date each other, basically? So they start dating each other, and it's just short chapters of their relationship progressing, and I just thought the first volume was very cute, and yeah, looking forward to reading the second one. Next up in here is Friday at the, I don't know how to say this word, Atelier. I think it's French. This one, I did read the first couple of chapters for this one online because I was unsure whether I would enjoy this one or not, and I did like them, so I decided to pick it up. But this is a seinen series about this woman who becomes the model for this artist here, but she becomes his nude model, And the thing is, he likes to draw her in different naked positions, surrounded by fish and covered in fish. So it's kind of got a weird thing with fish. And that's not a spoiler because it just says so on the back. And he wants her nude and covered in fish. Yeah, so I did read I think the first 4 or 5 chapters online, see if I like it. Yeah, he maybe does like covering her in fish, but yeah, I think it's gonna be like a romance between the two of them from what I read, and yeah, what the plots I read online were interesting. It's just a lot of fish. Next I have Lord Hades' Ruthless Marriage, Volume 2. This one has very nice art. This is like Greek mythology where Hades... This woman, I've forgotten who she is. She is the goddess of spring, I think. Is trying to find Hades a wife, and he gets shot in the head with an arrow. And like the first person he lays eyes upon, like he falls in love with, but the first person he lays eyes upon is her, but he doesn't actually end up falling for her, at least he doesn't think he does. So now she's trying to find him a wife. So each chapter in the first volume was him like with a different person, god or monster from Greek mythology, deciding whether he would marry this person or not. But yeah, the first one was quite episodic. I did enjoy it, but if it does continue to be episodic, I don't know how long I will keep up with this series for. But as at the end of the first volume, something did happen that thinks there's going to be like more of an overall plot starting a bit as well. So if an overall plot does come into it, I think I probably will keep going with it. But if it remains episodic, I don't tend to stick with episodic series as much. But yeah, the first one was good. It had some funny moments, and I am interested in reading more for now, especially if a romance starts to develop between these two, or like something interesting happens with what happened at the end of the first volume. Next up in the box is Everything's Falling Over. I have volumes 8 and 9 of A Sign of Affection. I really like A Sign of Affection. I watched the anime recently and I thought that was really good. And yeah, I haven't picked up a volume for a while. That's why 2 of them are now out. I think volume 10 doesn't come out until like December though. Yeah, A Sign of Affection is a cute college romance about a deaf girl and this guy who likes travelling. I'm pretty sure most people already know what the series is. It's great. Next is another new one. This is I See Your Face Turned Away, and from what I've heard, this series is quite popular. I hear a lot of good things about it. I think it's about unrequited love between like 4 high schoolers. It's from the creator of My Sweet Girl, which is digital only from Kadanja. 4 teenagers and their 4 stories of unrequited love. Yeah, I think these 4 here are the main characters. One night call Hikari extraordinary ordinary. One might call Hikari extraordinary ordinary. One day she takes up a new hobby, imagining what a romance would be like between her pretty friend Mari and the cute guy in their class, Otani. Dora and Hama spun into the role start to get tangled in Hikari's mind. Does she really have to just be the best friend in this love story? And just who is on Otani's mind when his eyes drift away? And from what I heard, it's a drama about unrequited love, and it is quite popular. So yeah, I think it's only been a short series as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking it out and picking up everything that fell over in the box. Next, How I Met My Soulmate 2 and 3. This is by the author who did Waiting for Spring, which is a series I read digitally, because I read the first 2 volumes physically and then couldn't find any more. This was back when manga was kind of hard to find and a lot of it was out of stock. So I just read it all digitally through Kindle Unlimited, which I did have at the time. I don't have Kindle Unlimited anymore because I didn't use it enough to warrant paying for it. But yeah, I read it all on Kindle Unlimited. I will probably pick the rest up physically eventually because I did enjoy that series, and I do have the first 2. But yeah, this is by the same creator. It's a college romance. I read the first volume. I really enjoyed the first volume. I thought it was very good. So I picked up 2 and 3 here. It's about a girl who's looking for her true love in college, and she comes across not this guy. It's not this guy, it's a different guy. It's the guy who was on the cover of the first volume. And he agrees to help her. She helps him out at a club. Is this guy here? She helps him out when he gets drunk in a club, and then he like kind of pays her back by trying to help her find her soulmate. Yeah, this guy. I really like the first volume and looking forward to reading more. Next is Nina, The Sorry Bride Volume 4. I read 3 recently. I enjoyed it. I still like the series. Apparently it gets better as it goes along. So yeah, looking forward to more. It's a fantasy Josei, and this one is also getting an anime soon. I think the anime for this one starts next season, actually. And next is The Ice Guy and the Cool Girl. This is another cute office romance between the descendant of a snow woman and his co-worker here, who he has feelings for her that are quite obvious to everyone other than her. And when he's happy or feels strong emotions, he like makes it snow and stuff. And it's just very cute. It's them like hanging out together. And this one does have an anime which I did watch. We're not caught up with where the anime ended yet, but the anime was very cute too. I love these two. It's really good. They are super thin though. Next is Revenge Mrs. Long Volume 2. I know most people who read this absolutely hated it. I quite liked it. It's messy, it's dramatic, it's messed up. It's 2 twin sisters absolutely being ridiculously horrible to each other all over this guy who's kind of just caught in the middle of it. And yeah, it's a very messy drama with some like controversial, messed up stuff in it, and I'm here for it. I enjoyed the drama, and I want to know what happens next. I'm very much intrigued. So we have 2 twin sisters, and one twin is like a serial cheater, and she's got it's either a boyfriend or a fiance, and she's cheating on him. And her twin sister's kind of more reserved, kind of more shy. And she's kind of always been in her sister's shadow, and her sister likes to can you take my place and pretend to be me and go on a date with my fiance whilst I go out with this other dude who I want to actually spend time with? And she's like, okay. So she gets with the fiance pretending to be the sister, and they end up having sex, and the fiance's like, that's the best sex I've ever had, you've suddenly improved your standards. So now he's like, but now she's like fallen for him, and she keeps pretending to be her sister and hanging out with him, and the sister finds out and is obviously not happy about it. So now they start up like this war with each other to like constantly outdo each other, because she's become very strange, and she's like, I'm gonna take over your life and be you and be with your fiance because you don't want him anyway. And yeah, they kind of do horrible things to just get back at each other and try to make each other's lives miserable. And this guy's kind of just caught in the middle because he has no idea what's going on, and that they're swapping places or anything. But yeah, it's very messy, it's fucked up, and I'm here for it. I'm enjoying the drama. I'm definitely interested to see how things go. I think it's only 5 volumes in total. It is steamship, but I would not class this as a romance at all. I would class it as more of a family drama. Next is a BL. I don't think I bought a lot of BL this month. I did bought lots last month for June, for Pride Month, but I don't think I got a lot this month. In fact, this might be the only one. I think it actually is the only one. This is by Scarlett Barreco, who did Jackass, which I enjoyed. She also did 4th Generation Head, which I did not enjoy. But that's not because it's by Scarlett Barreco, it's because it was Yakuza stuff, and I tend to not like Yakuza stuff. I've read a few Yakuza BL, and I didn't really like any of them. So I just kind of avoid stuff revolving around like Mafia, Yakuza, gangs, stuff like that. Like, this one is about two childhood friends. One of them works as a fishmonger, I'm pretty sure, this guy here. And he doesn't know what he wants to do with his life, but he definitely knows he wants to work with fish. More fish. There seems to be a fish theme going on here. And he likes him, but obviously he hasn't admitted that he likes him, and it's something like childhood friends to lovers sort of thing. With a fishmonger. In Nagahama. Is Nagahama to be or not to be? And here we have the last of the Tora volumes. This is the final volume of Momoe Boy. This is a 90s shoujo series that was being re-released by Seven Seas. It's like considered a classic. This is the first time I'm reading it, and I have been enjoying it. It's the situation they're in is strange. It has its comedy moments, and yeah, I've been enjoying it. And this is the final volume, so looking forward to seeing the ending. And now to go down the like normal sized things, apart from at the end there's some light novels. So here's Call the Name of the Night, Volume 4. This is the penultimate volume. 5 is the final one. This is a very pretty series. The artwork in this is very nice. This is about a girl who has a disease which makes her call the night. So like when she gets stressed, scared, anxious, like she gets surrounded by darkness. And her parents send her to live with this, not this guy. He's like a mage, and he's also like a doctor. And she's living with him so he can try and like cure her condition. And he's like, it's very magical. There's like slice of lifey. There's like other characters introduced, like this guy here and the boy who turns into a little goat thing. But yeah, I really like the series. And I just noticed the corner was bent. I didn't see that before. I had to kind of blend it in with the cover. Oh well. Yeah, the artwork is great. And this one, it's magical, slice of lifey, very nice series about a little girl and her teacher and helping her overcome her anxieties and this disease she has. Next, another one I really enjoy. This is a reincarnated witch spells doom. This is an isekai, one of the few that I actually enjoy. It follows a girl called Senna who was reincarnated into this other world as herself. She's reborn as a baby, but the baby she's reborn as is like her. It's not somebody else's body she's inside of. She's reincarnated into another world as still as herself. She's still Senna and looks exactly the same and stuff. Different mother though. And she's a witch and she has the power to destroy, like, of destruction and perish, which is powers people in this world don't tend to have. Like, they tend to have like elemental powers like water, fire, wind, stuff like that. But her powers are unusual because of the way, like, when she died, she like kind of like cursed the world and like, I want the world to perish and I want to destroy it and stuff like that, and that's why she gained those powers. And because of that, she's been a shut-in since she was little, and she turns 18, and the usual guy who delivers her supplies like hurts his back. So this guy comes in his place to deliver the supplies for her, and it turns out like he's the prince of the kingdom, and he like gets her out of her cottage and brings her out into the world. And there's also dragons. Did I mention there's dragons? The series is great. They're currently at like a neighbouring kingdom, and there's stuff going on with the dragon, and I love this series. I highly would recommend it if you like fantasy. Even if you're not into isekai, if you just like fantasy, dragons, I would recommend this one. It's very good. Next is a mystery Josei series. This one's also based off a light novel. I don't have any of the light novels, so. But I think the manga to this ends pretty fast. I can't see it having covered more than a couple of volumes of the light novel, so maybe once I finish the manga, because I don't think it's a long series, I will then pick up the light novel to continue going with it. But this is a mystery series following this. There's some supernatural stuff in here too. This college boy and his teacher, who is Akira Takatsuki. And when he was little, he had this experience with this like spirit kind of festival where he ate something, and eating this thing, it gave him the ability to hear lies, a bit like an Itotoki rhetoric. So he can tell when someone's lying by the sound of their voice. And he ends up working with this folklore professor who like studies folklore, and he's trying to prove folklore is real by doing incidents that he thinks evolves around folklore. And the two of them, because he can hear lies, they kind of investigate these incidents together. Most of them end up not involving anything supernatural at all. But because of what happened to him as a child, there's obviously is some supernatural things that exist in this world. And yeah, it's very interesting. I find the characters interesting, and finding more about them, and especially the professor. And yeah, I really like this one, but I highly doubt it's going to cover all of the light novels, because I think there's like 5 volumes of the light novel currently out. I might be wrong, it might be less. But I know the manga is not that long. I know it's recently finished in Japan, so I know it's not going to cover the entirety of the light novels, so I might end up picking the light novels up once I finish what is available of the manga when it's complete. Next is No Longer Heroine 6. This one's another train wreck romance. Following a girl who thinks she's the heroine, but finding out she might just be a side character. When the boy she likes ends up getting a girlfriend who he's quite serious about, whereas all the girlfriends he's had in the past, he's kind of just been like flings. So now she's considering she's not actually the heroine, and that she's not maybe meant to be with him. And yeah, it's messy. This dude is like, yes, I kind of like her despite the fact she's not a great person, but this dude is doing things that is pissing me off. 1 minute he's like this, next minute he's like that, and I'm not really going to say anything because of spoilers, but yeah, this dude, especially in the last volume, volume 5, he was pissing me off. And I wonder if he continues to do so for the rest of the series. Next is We Can't Do Just Plain Love Volume 3. This is a steamy Josei title. I really like it. It's very good. About this woman whose boss, this is the boss that she now works under, and he has an issue where he can't really talk to women because he gets a hard on every time he talks to a woman, and she wants to kind of help him deal with that issue by having sex with him and getting him used to being around women. And there's kind of sort of some romance forming between them, and yeah, it's very good. I really like this one. It's one of my favourites, like, very smutty series. Like, this is definitely 18 plus. It's very explicit. It's not like mild smut or anything. This one is super explicit, and it is one of my favourites. Next, I think the rest of the manga in here are all VIZ Media. I'm just gonna plop them over here. So we have Like a Butterfly 5, Sumo Ishita, same as A Sign of Affection. Like introvert romance between a guy who can't talk to girls and a girl who doesn't like speaking because of what people have said about her voice in the past, and it's a very cute one, and I enjoy it. Then volume 16 is Mao. Mao seems to come out super quickly on volume 16 already. I think 17 is also out. Yeah. And then we have the final volume of Kaguya-sama River's War, volume 28. Like, this is the conclusion. Obviously, everything's going to get wrapped up in this volume. Like, the main storyline that was happening in the end of volumes kind of ended in volume 26. And then 27 and 28 are kind of finishing all the loose ends and, like, wrapping everything up. So, looking forward to seeing how this series ends. I've really enjoyed this one. This is probably one of my favourite seinen series. It's very good. And next, Yona volume 41. I think 42 might be coming out soon. Yeah, I'm only just picked up 41. I shouldn't be opening it this late into the manga. I have read up to the Japanese release as latest chapter online. This is like this and there's one other series. Well, not anymore because it's finished. this one and Given was the other one where I keep up with the Japanese chapters online rather than waiting until the chapters come out in English. So, like, Given's finished now, so I don't do it with Given anymore, but this is the one I still keep up with the latest Japanese chapters online, so I am up to date with what's happening in the, like, latest Japanese chapters. Obviously, they're translated into English. I don't read them in Japanese because I can't read Japanese. But yeah, this is like one of the only series I do this with. Yeah, so the content that is in this volume I have already, not read, but quite skimmed online. But yeah, I love Yona, it's great. And the stuff that's happening in the latest chapters is like stuff. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to spoil it. But I think we're going to be getting to that sort of content soon. I don't think so. I don't think in this volume, but I think it's going to be soon. And then we have Wolfgang Black Prince Volume 6. Still continuing with this. I enjoy it. I like the anime. And now for the last three, which are light novels. I'm just going to take them all out of the box at once. Put that over there. The first one is called You Can't See the Snow. I'm not sure if this is a light novel or whether it's just a novel. Because it's not like an anime sort of front cover. It's kind of just a picture of a dude in a hat. And it's about a guy and a girl who, like, they fall in love, they get together, and then the girl kind of just like, you should find yourself a nice girlfriend, and disappears. And he's confused, so he goes to her family home and finds out she has this condition that forces her to sleep through the winter, so she basically hibernates. So she's like, if you want to be with me, you're going to have to spend all your winters alone because I'm going to be hibernating. And he's like, has to choose whether he wants to stay with her or not. I thought it sounded quite interesting. I don't know if it's a light novel or whether it's just a novel. But yeah, I grabbed that one. Then I have my favourite light novel, even though I've only read the first volume. I've watched the anime though. And that's Sugar Apple Fairy Tale, Volume 6. This is the volume where the anime ends. I really need to get around to reading volumes 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I've only read the first one. But I did love the anime, and the anime covers up to this volume, and I need to catch up to this volume so I can read Volume 7 when it comes out, because that's new content past where the anime ended, and I really want to read it. But I don't want to just go straight into Volume 7 because there's stuff in the light novel that wasn't in the anime. So I do want to read 2 to 6. I'm just slow when it comes to reading light novels, and I'll get to them eventually. I've still got, like, My Happy Marriage. I've still got 2 volumes of that to read. I've still got everything that I haven't... Most of the stuff on that shelf, basically. And also Iron Flame, which I'm, like, 3/4 of the way through. This one's got quite sharp edges, actually. It's a very sharp bend. It's definitely distinct. Yeah, I love this series. And the last one is, as I said before, True Love Fades Away When the Contract Ends, One Star in the Night Sky, which is the manga, the light novel version of the manga from earlier. I do actually like the light novel's cover more than the manga's cover. Yeah, it's the same thing, just the light novel version. Which I will probably read at some point in the next 15-20 years. It'll go on the list. I do like light novels, it just takes me ages to get around to reading them. If I enjoy the manga, it will put it up in the, like, list of when it'll be read. Anyway, that is it for this haul, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for another video, whether it be a reading log, haul, something else. And yeah, that's it for now, and bye.